The big news this morning will be Verizon Wireless's unveiling of its iPhone, shifting the landscape in the wireless industry in one swoop. We're joined this morning from Chicago by the Bloomberg Best on Verizon and also the Wells Fargo securities analyst, Jennifer Fritzsche. She has an outperform on Verizon stock. And Jennifer, that raises the issue of whether or not all of this news is already priced into Verizon, though.
Betty, many feel that way, but we continue to think the stock has legs. I think people underestimate the concern or overestimate the concern in terms of margins. Stock clearly has had a good run, but we think between this and the LTE rollout, there's many more wireless catalysts to come.
What do you mean they overestimate the concerns on margins?
Well, I think people look at what happened with AT&T, and in the worst quarter, they saw a sequential decline of 700 basis points after the 3GS launch in 2009. And I think the concern is Verizon might be irrational with its own margin degradation, and I don't think that will be the case.
Why not?
I think we have to look at this company and how they've approached it. They've had a purposeful, measured approach with their smartphones. They have many other selections of smartphone in the shelves. And while the iPhone is certainly important, I think that there are many other important franchises, such as the Droid, the Motorola Droid handsets to Verizon, which will certainly, I think, still have a very good sell-through, even in a non-exclusive iPhone world.
Jennifer, in your view, because I know you cover AT&T, how sticky are the AT&T users to the iPhone, or the iPhone users on AT&T?
We also like AT&T quite a bit, and I think the street really underappreciates how sticky they are. In specific numbers, if AT&T added roughly about 15 million iPhones in the 2010 period, and by my estimates, that's about 75% of the total iPhone activations they have in the base, which put another way means they have people on contract through the end of 11, about 2/3 of those users.
Right, but then the question is what happens?
Rather, 3/4.
Right, but the question is what happens at the end of those contracts, though?
Right, and I think that's where you have to look at what AT&T has to offer. Something we expect them to market around is the ability of the speed of their network. The HSPA Plus is throughout the AT&T network, and put simply, what that means is they have much faster download speeds than Verizon will initially be able to offer outside the gate.
So does that mean when AT&T makes a jab at Verizon and says, get ready for life in the slow lane, they're really right about that?
Absolutely, and that's been proven. You know, this phone, the CDMA phone, will not be on the LTE network. That's our understanding. We'll hear at 11 o'clock today. But that puts Verizon at a speed disadvantage versus AT&T. And remember the investments they've made in their network. I know New York has gotten a lot of bad press, but they've already implemented a 4th carrier there, which should translate, and it's already translating, frankly, into improved quality.
So then, Jennifer, as an iPhone user, then are you going to see much of a difference, though? Is that going to be a marked difference?
Absolutely. I mean, I think as we see, you're already seeing that difference, Betty. I mean, in terms of download speeds, we recently did our own test. We saw the AT&T download speeds carrying about, on the iPhone in the middle of Manhattan, doing about 5 megs. And that's about 2 times what you're going to see, or what you currently see from Verizon smartphones.
Okay, well, speed is definitely going to be something that's going to be a big consideration to any iPhone user. So it's good to hear that perspective. Jennifer, thank you. We've got to leave it there. Jennifer Fritzsche, the Bloomberg Best and also the Wells Fargo securities analyst on Verizon.